Well, what happened? Is it clear to you guys? I'm so envious of people who have it all figured out so quickly, like this is genius, this is genius. You didn't get it, you're not going to get it, you don't even know what's going on. And there are people here who are way ahead and know that this is a masterstroke. About Julián Álvarez, about Real Madrid's offer for Julián Álvarez, that we're not going to sign him because Madrid said so, that you don't accept it, well, that's it. Nothing, unless in the next few hours they say, okay, 180. That's what it would be about, right? The other day, Florentino said on Iker Jimenez's show, hey, starting at 150, we'll see if it's more. So if you really want that player and you're already going to pay 150, you should offer even more. But it doesn't seem like that's going to happen, although who knows, maybe it will. Hey Madridistas, how are you? Just as I was uploading the video with Luca talking about this possibility, about it being Julián Álvarez, which was more of a sports opinion, and also, well, with the innocence of a child, of my son, in this case, who was looking at the deal. From a sporting perspective, because we weren't looking at it any other way, I recommend the video to you. Besides that, we also make predictions for the World Cup. That yes, maybe we need a soccer player like that. But of course, for that price. And with all the conditions that exist at the institutional level between two clubs, historical enemies, friends, and so on. Well, a lot of factors come into play. But even so, in yesterday's video, I told you that what we really need is a midfielder. Why are we going back to attacking positions again? When even though we have some deficits there, you know, like players getting in each other's way, etc., what Madrid needs desperately is a midfielder. But, well, we'll talk about that in the next ones, and that's it. A few minutes later, Madrid released this statement. Real Madrid Club de Football announces that after the board of directors meeting held today, it has made an offer of 150 million euros to Atletico de Madrid for the Julián Álvarez's registration rights. After studying and evaluating it, Atletico de Madrid thanked for the offer made within the framework of the good relations between both clubs and rejected it, referring to the player's release clause. Since when do they issue statements saying they have rejected something? Since when? Is this normal? No, it's not normal. It makes sense because, according to what the pro-club media are now saying, hey, he keeps his promises. And the promised offer was to make an offer for the player, and the offer has been made. Because I've read, as the president says, and as he reproached the other candidate, when you want a football player, first you have to talk to the club. Is that so? Florentino spoke with Barcelona first when he signed Figo. Florentino, the football guy, the one who communicates, did so after the board of directors meeting was held. He made signings. He didn't make offers. He landed them. He always contacted the club first. When pursuing Beckham, he spoke with Manchester United first. With Ronaldo Nazario, he spoke with Inter. He might talk later, but offers come after studying and evaluating. Inter. Maybe he would talk at some point, but when he acknowledged the offer on that famous night from August to September 2002, with Valdano with his sleeves rolled up and all that, Madrid had already spoken with Ronaldo Nazario. But since when? Since when? I mean, I'm sorry, but I think they've treated us like fools for a long time. Besides, because, well, the club made the move of announcing an offer that Florentino had to read. Rejected, Florentino had to read it. Referring to the people who, well, many have already left me, it doesn't matter. I'm going to keep doing my thing, which is Madrid. It's been a big circus these last 2 years. It's been a big circus, but Madrid... What isn't Madrid and what about it, and the surroundings of Madrid? After the football meeting, one candidate showed up desperate on Friday, just 2 days before the vote, and made an offer for Klopp to be their coach, even though they'd previously said they had someone else. We criticized this in our video with Ladigo Serrano. We said he messed up. He had done a relatively good campaign with Atletico Club with the possibility of signing Haaland, which was difficult and unlikely, but Madrid Álvarez, after being president, he could have gone a little further. But with the club thing, he messed up, right? So Madrid has been a circus, both inside the club and from the outside, from those who wanted to take over as the board and president. So to me, being grateful smells like more circus, more club relations, and from the outside, those who wanted to be the board of directors and the presidency now. Rejected, referring to this, it's more of a circus than a stroke of genius, sorry. Reporting from Madrid. Futbol Comunica's post after the afternoon meeting, and it was tremendous. I was here in the car, on the trip, listening to everything, and well, when I was able to stop and think about it, that's why the board of directors is now making this celebrated reflection today, all of it, the whole post offer, right? What came next was an offer, especially the post offer, what came from Atletico de Madrid on social media. Atleti responds about Julián on social media. Atleti responds to this official statement from Real Madrid with laughing emojis. And then in a second tweet, Football says that the offer was laughable. And then in a second tweet, he's made two more tweets. He says, official statement with our clarifications about the official statement from our neighbors Real Madrid. 1, you cut the video of the Pope where he mentioned Atletico too. 2, you must have confused politeness with gratitude, but just to be clear, we don't thank you for anything. 3, we are neither studying nor considering any offer for Julián. 4, how could we not get along when you make us laugh more than Football Club Barcelona? And then there was another one, and it says, PS, taking advantage of the good relationship with your new president, let's see if you stop stealing players from our academy. Thank you very much, Real Madrid. They're saying that this was a stroke of genius by Florentino because according to the pro-club media, we've made the signing more expensive for Barca. And I think that if Barca wants to tomorrow and if Atletico wants to, they absolutely can. What's more, for their player Julián, Atletico has new owners and poof, it wouldn't look good to sell Julián Álvarez to Real Madrid. Because they've just come in and all that. Hey, your first big deal, are you going to sell Julián Álvarez to Real Madrid? It wouldn't look good, but come on, football is a business. They could do it without any problem. If now Barca announces that, I don't know where they're going to do it after the meeting, offer 120 from que no sé dónde lo va a sacar, pero si oferta million and takes him, which could happen. Do you think Atletico de Madrid will show up and ask, why didn't you sell him to Real Madrid for more? They offered us the Madrid more. The Atletico de Madrid fan has already accepted it. Of so many footballers who have, after the meeting, of so many footballers who have gone from Atletico to Barca, they'll say, well, look, so the board of directors meeting held today made it clear. Therefore, it is being said from the official side that the transfer has already become more expensive. Euros Atletico. Therefore, the pro-club media are saying the transfer has already become more expensive for Barcelona. And what? And what about the players' side? So everything Florentino does is a master move and none of us understand it, except for a few enlightened ones. Álvarez. Florentino's moves at Madrid are always masterful, though we only understand them after the fact. He's made another. The Bernabeu is stunning inside, but more debatable outside. But to host a lot of concerts, to make a lot of money by making the Bernabeu very beautiful on the inside, a bit more questionable on the outside, but to host a lot of concerts, to make a lot of money with the concerts, because it wasn't possible to use a place like the Bernabeu just a few times a year. It had to be used almost every day, and with that, we were going to make an insane amount of money. And after the 6th, 7th, or 8th concert, they shut it down for 2 years. Because you could never imagine that the people from football who were there after the Castellana meeting could report you and complain. I mean, you could never imagine it. Was that also a move by the board or management? I mean, making $1 million offers like we've seen in recent years? Hiring Xabi Alonso just to let him go after 6 months, signing a forward like Mbappé when maybe that's what Real Madrid needed the least, even though Mbappé is an amazing player. Having a squad with positions that aren't covered, where Modric and Kroos leave and you don't replace them. Those are all supposed to be master moves. Why should we think this one is too? Well, they tell you yes, that yes it is. I'll stick with a tweet that Joel posted here. The board player dynamic seems very interesting. It says, my questions and most sincere opinion regarding Julián Álvarez. Why issue a statement just to admit rejection? After the board meeting with a real offer, how does that help? Does announcing millions of euros to spend on one player make sense? What negotiation advantage do you have now? How are you going to go to Bayern Munich now to sign Ulises, knowing that Atletico Madrid won't make any other offer for a player like Julián? Basically, there won't be any Galactico signing. The offer was made just so it would be rejected. This offer benefits both Atletico de Madrid and Real Madrid. For the football world, it communicates that the meeting set millions of euros as the minimum price, and for Florentino, it helps him fulfill his campaign promise. But as a minimum price, and for Florentino, it's about keeping his electoral promise. But this thing about fulfilling a campaign promise, let's make an offer. Have you seen it? About fulfilling a campaign promise. Are you going to make an offer? Have you seen that he's already done it? But what is that? I mean, how does that make Real Madrid fans feel? I don't know. They say, think the worst and you'll be right. Or maybe not, but for me, none of it adds up. It could be a favor from a Julián to Atletico de Madrid, but weren't the Atletico de Madrid people supporting the other candidate? I mean, no, and I say this with complete honesty, I don't understand anything. I don't understand anything. But years ago, football after and now a board meeting, offers that we know won't materialize because we've prevented it from happening. Barca signed someone today. Was it a joke offer or what? What is this? I don't know if you guys hear the millions, so put it in the comments. I've only thought of one thing. If the one doing this today wasn't Florentino, what would be said about him? I have a clear conscience because I say the same thing, Florentino or not. After today's board of directors meeting, they've made a lousy offer. I don't care who it is, to Julián or anyone else. Always be wary of someone who changes their opinion depending on the person, who says one thing or another depending on who's involved. If someone does that, they're deceiving you. See you in the next one. Thanks. Please comment, share, and hype up the video, please. You know we're on a road trip to Dallas on our way to the World Cup. Check out the previous video with Luca. It was a lot of fun. That's it. Next video, more things from this trip. Bye. And whatever comes up about Real Madrid on our way to the World Cup, check out the previous video with Luca. It was a lot of fun. Next video, more things from this trip. Bye. Álvarez.